Right, hello everybody. A quick impromptu, unscripted update here, just to talk about a little bit about how the channel is coming along and what I've been up to. So as you can see, I've got the 6 million views on this channel now, which is it's crazy when you consider I just started this off for fun for myself really. I used it to upload music that I just wanted personally to listen to. I didn't really consider that anyone else would find it and then listen to it, and then it'd go on to become what it is. So and the subscribers as well, it's almost like a football stadium's worth of people are waiting for the next thing I release. So that's really cool, and I like it, and I do hope to continue doing this as long as the stuff stays up. One of my fears is that the increasing amount of AI produced videos, I think what I do, if you didn't know, you might think it's that. You might just think it's just been all these images have just been stuck into a computer and then it just spews out the documentary. Because you don't see my face talking, I think that when the big AI cull will come to YouTube, and it will happen, I can't help thinking my stuff might just be caught up in it. So watch this space. Well, I've been saying watch this space for about 4 years, and the stuff still stays up. So we'll just ride it, ride the scree while we can. So the AI thing, I do use elements of this, right? So I've just thought I'd show one example here from a recent Van de Graaff one, and I do a lot of this colorization. It is probably like partly using this software to get the flesh tones, like denim jeans. It does a lot of the colorization literally in a mouse click, but on this particular one, I thought what's noteworthy about it is the Newcastle Brown Ale t-shirt on David Jackson. I had to go in and manually, like almost at pixel level, change those colours because I had to get that right. I'm not gonna, as an Englishman who likes Newcastle Brown Ale and a lover of Newcastle the city, I thought I've got to get that star's got to be blue. The font colour has got to be right. I've been told off enough in the past for cocking these images up. So the AI and the mic software doesn't just do everything. A lot of this is still painstaking manual work. It's a bit old-fashioned to some degree, what I do, but it suits the music, maybe, And the comments are still rolling in. There's a couple here, and there's still like lots of these. Every day I get 10 or 20 comments of people who've discovered my channel for the first time or have watched the video and loved it. And this is why I ultimately do it. I mean, it's a nice hobby, but it's lovely knowing that ultimately someone gets to sit down for half an hour and is moved to say things like this in public. It moved them to tears. It reminded them of the past. It reminded them of the girlfriends or friends long gone, or the youth, or it rekindled a love for something that they'd forgotten, or they thought they knew the thing inside out, and they learn a load of new things. This is what it's all about for me, and it's a fantastic thing that I've got the opportunity to do, and a bit of skill to do it. So it's all good fun. I just thought I'd and the videos, unfortunately, like I say, they're taking longer now to do each time because they're more involved. I'm spending more time on stuff, getting stuff better. My God, the earlier ones were pretty poor in comparison, but ironically they were the better albums, So what are the kind of things I've been doing? I'll show on screen now. This was. I like this now where I go and film where things happened. So I do find myself in London from time to time where lots of things went on. So what you're looking at here was the Floyd did a photo shoot, of which lots of pictures. There's only a few survive. I could see where they moved on a map from a junkyard to a church. So they must have took other pictures in between that location. But I went to this church. I'd actually passed it before, unknowingly that this is where the Floyd stood and took these pictures. So I was down in London just by chance, and I thought, I'm going to film this bit for this doc. And I went in there, and there was no one in there. I was there on my own. It was so weird and eerie. And then I've got this picture of like where they stood, and I thought I'll try and get the picture there. And what was so strange is that you're looking at it now. You see Barrett is looking away from the camera. He's looking up at something on the wall. I thought, what the hell's he looking at? And I looked up, and there's like a pipe organ on the wall, and I thought that's what he was looking at. And it was so strange to be stood exactly where Barrett stood, looking at what he's looking at on that picture. It was something really weird. And even stranger, I walk out of this church, and then my phone buzzed, and it's this lass in America who'd done this animation for me, which you're seeing now. She drew this animation, and is Emmy. And I thought, how strange is that? I'm literally stood outside this church looking back on this footage I filmed, and then the phone pings and she's sent the video. It's just really weird. And there's another good bit in this one where I filmed down this alley. This again is like me filming. I hire these bikes when I'm down there. So I'm literally cycling along. Well, God knows what I look like. I'm cycling along this old bit of entry, and I'm filming it, for the video to try and illustrate where the Floyd shot this video for Scream My Last Scream or something, and that's what I filmed. So that's me filming that on my bike. That's why it all looks. It come out good. It gives it a weird quality. There's another good little sequence I did when I was down in London another time, and I filmed this park with Van de Graaff. Took a photo session, so I try my best to try and put the picture where they stood. I can't quite do it 100% because there's just a difference in lenses and angles and things of that nature for what I can do on my phone, but it's still very nice to do, to think like some of these people stood there a long time ago, and to sort of bring that back. I don't know, I do like it, So what else do I do when I'm not doing this? I, of course, like you, am a prog fan, and I just thought I'd share some of the people who I watch when I'm maybe researching these documentaries, or just for my own fun. All right, now I know some of these you will know, and some of these people that might be even watching now. And incidentally, just on that, I am increasingly finding out that members of some of these bands are watching this channel, or members of the kind of road crew or management or the families. I've emailed. I won't say who, but that's again another level of pleasure and weirdness to think that some of these people actually are now getting wind of what I'm doing. It's nice. So here's some of the people I like, obviously. So I'll kick off with Scat at the Prague corner, and I love him. He's great fun. Is the enthusiasm, and he's all animated and cartoony, and he's great fun. You must know Scott at the Prague corner, and he's really good fun. There's another guy I watch. He sadly doesn't do these videos anymore, and he's called, I think I can pronounce his name, and his name will be that'll be like Caggiano, Rocco Caggiano, and he's from Canada, I think, from his accent, and he's great, and he just does these things in one take, and it's again full of enthusiasm and passion and expletives. I've never known anyone like fuck that shit. I know he's all full of this, but it's. He really knows his stuff, and the love of the music really comes out. The next dude is probably the first person I ever discovered on YouTube who does this type of stuff. You'll know is Darren Locke of the Prog Review, who's kind of the opposite of the previous two, and that he's very he's a bit downbeat. It's almost like he hates the music, but I do like him. I don't know why, because he does nothing but moan about it all. But again, another long-standing channel, probably the one I've watched more than any other, in a way. And next up, I've got Dave here from Stoke, where I used to live. So I like hearing the old Stokey accent, and he's doing the album review channel, and that's nice because I've seen him sort of develop. His scripts are really nice now, eloquent, and he's playing around with software, which is good. So it's good to see that Dave's channels, the content is growing all the time. The next dude, again, we're all the same. We're all like the same kind of characters here. There's not much separates the way we look and our age and all this, and much to my wife's amusement, you know. Another guy you're talking about blinking this music, you know, is I think he's called Barry, Classic Album Review, and he's very much the, I don't know, he's like it's more serious, you know, stately kind of tone. No messing around, and again, it's just a different flavour and a different view on all this, and I think there's no end to it. There's, you know, and long may it continue, people celebrating and discussing this music, because it deserves it. There's another guy there, I've only just discovered him recently, and he's called Classic Rock and Prog Almanac. And what I like about him is he seems to do his videos in one complete take, which I don't think I could ever do, because I make that many mistakes and things. I mispronounce stuff and, you know, read stuff wrong and all that. But he's good because he'll get his acoustic guitar out and talk about the chords and the musicality of it, which I can't do. I've never played a musical instrument in my life. It's probably one of my biggest regrets. So I'm liking his channel more and more. Probably the single best channel I watch in terms of its professionalism is Parlogram Auctions, which is it is more or less just all Beatles, okay, but he's brilliant, and the depth of detail this guy goes into is off the scale. So he'll spend the whole video like talking on how the physical sleeve was made, and like the bloody glue that they used it on, or the printing plants that they come in, and why one copy of the White Album turns yellow in the sun over 50 years and one doesn't. I mean, it's that kind of level of nerdiness, which I know you all love, and I do. So he's a great one to check out. And the next one I've got is Vinyl Rewind, and he's probably like the coolest of the prog dudes, in a sense, and very slick, lovely production, and he'll sometimes make like a cocktail, and he sits back with the cocktail and then he'll discuss the music, you know. And finally, I like watching my old mate is Amrin on Pete Genesis, and it's a nice like acoustic renditions of the stuff you know and love, you know. So there's some of my prog channels and my heroes that I unwind to, you know. So there you go. So just a little update there. I am in the middle of a new video revisiting an old favourite band, shall I say, but not particularly an old favourite album, so we'll see what happens there. I never like to reveal them while I'm making them, but plenty more prog to come, folks, and until YouTube wipe me off the radar, I'll see you later. Okay, bye bye.